Hey folks, now I'm sure you've all heard somebody say that because of the difficulties they've had in Venezuela recently in the last few years, that because of that proves that capitalism is the only way, that capitalism is the great system, that obviously Venezuela, they have socialism, they have difficulties. Well, first of all, Venezuela's difficulties started fairly recently. Until the oil price drop of 2014, their economy was actually doing quite well. They were experiencing quite a bit of growth. Meanwhile, Bolivia also has a socialist government. They've been doing reasonably well. Nicaragua has a socialist government. Their economy has been doing reasonably well. So that's just kind of a bunk argument. But just for the fun of it, I thought we would quickly go over how the economies throughout the American hemisphere have been doing lately, the capitalist economies. Let's start with Haiti. Haiti, totally free market capitalist country, in with the IMF, the World Bank, all the global capitalist financial institutions, right? Haiti, that's a totally free market capitalist country, right? How's Haiti doing? How is their economy doing? Well, they've just had months of rioting over the price of fuel. People have been in the streets. They've declared a national emergency. People are eating dirt. They've been eating dirt in Haiti. People mix dirt with oil and eat it. That's the conditions. And recently there's been rioting over the surge in fuel prices as the price of oil has been increasing. Let's go to another country. Let's talk about Honduras. Honduras, there's another capitalist country. In 2009, they had a socialist president, Manuel Zelaya. Zelaya was removed by a military coup. He was toppled, and since then, Honduras has been totally free market, capitalist, very capitalist country. What's been the result? Mass poverty, suffering. They have actually one of the highest murder rates in the entire world. People are fleeing, indigenous populations are fleeing. A lot of the children who are turning up at the US border are from Honduras, fleeing from a capitalist free market country, signed on with all these free trade deals, global financial institutions, American corporations dominate it. None of that protectionism, none of those workers' rights, no socialism going on in Honduras, and it's wrecking the place, just like it's wrecking Haiti. Oh, let's look at another country. Let's go down to the southern cone that they call it. Argentina, right? Argentina recently signed on with the International Monetary Fund. Now, the IMF loans countries, developing countries, it gives them loans, and in exchange for those loans, they're basically required to make free market neoliberal reforms. So just recently, just in the past 2 months, we've seen Argentina sign on with the IMF. And what is the result? Already their currency, the currency of Argentina, has dropped by 60%. Their economy is wrecked. People are in the streets protesting. Argentina is also being wrecked by capitalism. Hey, and while we're at it, let's talk about Brazil, another country, a very big country in the American hemisphere. Brazil, right? Now, until 2016, they had a president from the Workers' Party, Dilma Rousseff, kind of a social democrat. She was forced out, and the vice president is now the president, Michel Temer. And ever since he's been in there, privatizing things, cutting government spending, doing all the things the free market libertarians tell us are the solution, right? That's the libertarian belief, that you can just cut your way into growth. If you just cut all the spending, cut off every social program, leave everyone to fend for themselves, magically we're all going to do well, you know? That's the libertarian belief. Well, Michel Temer has been actively carrying out neoliberal economic reforms, privatizing things, and what is the result? He is the least popular president in Brazil's history. They're talking about 1 or 2% approval ratings. People hate the guy. There was a truckers' strike, and there was violence, and food was not being delivered to stores, and stores were empty, and streets were blocked off. Brazil is also being wrecked by capitalism. And at this point, the imprisoned former president, Lula da Silva, the social democrat from the Workers' Party, Lula da Silva, even though he's in jail for corruption, is the most popular candidate for president in the upcoming elections, even though he's in jail, right? So let's look all throughout the Americas and see how's capitalism doing. Haiti, that's capitalism, the place is wrecked. Honduras, capitalism, the place is wrecked. Argentina, capitalism, the place is wrecked. Brazil, capitalism, neoliberal free market reforms, the place is wrecked. You can go down the line. You could even say that capitalism is wrecking and burning and destroying the United States. The upcoming generation are stuck in a lifetime of low-wage, short-term service sector jobs, never going to have the standard of living their parents had. The big industrial jobs shipped overseas, low wages. Yes, unemployment is down, but wages are low. It's a mess, right? Look at this opioid crisis. Millions of young people who have just no future to look forward to are destroying their lives with opioids, an astronomical suicide rate. This is a mess. In the United States, the richest country in the entire world, we're at the point where they're unpaving the roads in numbers of municipalities. In Vermont, in southern states like Alabama and Georgia, municipalities cannot even afford to maintain paved roads, so they are unpaving the roads. We've got children drinking contaminated water. There's lead in the drinking water, right? Everywhere you go in the United States, neoliberal, free market economic policies have cut government spending. We can't afford to pave our roads anymore. We can't afford to purify our water. Our power plants are falling apart. Everything that's considered to be public property in the United States is basically being destroyed as the mantra is cut, cut, cut. That's the mantra, this libertarian, neoliberal, free market, Milton Friedman, Ayn Rand insanity, right? We can magically cut our way into growth. If we just cut, if the government just lets everything go, if we just let the private sector, if the government does nothing, if we have a government that does nothing in the economy, that just sits back, if that happens somehow, we're gonna make people's lives better. Well, it's not working in the United States of America, it's not working in Haiti, it's not working in Argentina, it's not working in Brazil, it's not working in Honduras. It's time we get out of this free market insanity. We need a government of action that will fight for working families. The oil, the natural resources should be public property. The banking system should be controlled by society. The major centers of economic power should be forced to work in the interests of society, not simply in the interests of profit. That's what socialism is.